Let's talk to Airports Company of South Africa's acting spokesperson, Deborah Francis, on the line to us from Cape Town. Good morning to you, Deborah. SATAWU had warned that domestic flights for SAA, Mango, Kalula and SAA Freighter, the cargo carrier, would be affected. Have there been any disruptions, local or international, this morning?
Airports Company South Africa can confirm that there has been no disruptions to date. Operations are as per normal, and we are on schedule with all of our flights.
SATAWU is saying a couple of flights have already been delayed. Some flights have been cancelled because the technicians, quite importantly, are on strike. Can these airlines continue to run without technical crew today?
Pardon?
Can the airlines continue to run without technical crew on the ground today?
Well, to date, we haven't had any delays. We haven't had any disruptions at all airports, including Cape Town International Airport and Kinshasa. There has been all staff members have reported for duty, so we haven't had any particular delays.
Did you just say that all staff members have reported for duty?
At Cape Town International Airport and Kinshasa International Airport.
So at this
our
point,
there has been a few that hasn't reported for duty, but at all of our other airports, we haven't had any incidences thus far.
All right. We've been told that because airports are national key points, there'll be no demonstrations allowed, but we're already getting reports in suggesting strikers are protesting at the main gate of SAA's technical park in Johannesburg. Is that true?
Sorry, the line is extremely bad. I cannot hear you.
Deborah, I'm going to put that question to you again. I apologize for the quality of the line. We've got reports in suggesting that strikers, although we've been told, will not be allowed to demonstrate at airports because they're national key points. That they've already begun a demonstration at OR Tambo International Airport, that they're protesting at the main gate of SAA Technical Park. Do you know anything about that?
I am aware of that, and I can confirm that given the status afforded to airports by the National Key Point Act, that no striking workers will be permitted to demonstrate at the airports itself. I cannot speak for the SAA Technical Park, but I do know that picketing has started taking place there.
Deborah, what measures are in place to ensure that passengers and those who choose to report for work are not intimidated by strikers?
Again, I cannot speak for SAA Technical, given that this is an SAA Technical strike. It is not an Airports Company South Africa strike. But I can say that from our perspective, we will not allow any demonstrators at the airport. We have got security measures in place together with South African police services. So under no circumstances will intimidation take place or be allowed at any of our airports.
Would you advise those travelling today to keep themselves appraised by contacting their airlines to find out if those flights will still continue uninterrupted, or should they assume, based on what you've told us this morning, that all services will be running as normal?
To date, we haven't had any disruptions. We haven't had any delays. However, should airport users and passengers, want to update themselves in terms of what is happening, I will suggest that you do that. But to date, we haven't had, any disruptions. But we always ask people, in any case, to arrive earlier for their flights.
Let's not forget you're in charge of 9 airports countrywide. Do you have the personnel to keep the show on the road were the strike to spread?
Sorry, could you repeat that question again?
We know that AXA is in charge of 9 airports around the country. If the strike were to spread to further airports besides the 2 main ones that we've spoken about, which are, or rather the strike at OR Tambo International this morning, were that to spread countrywide, would you be able to assist the airlines with personnel to keep the show on the road?
We have been advised by SAA Technical that contingencies have been in place. To date, we haven't had any incidences or any disruptions. Should SA Technical determine that there is going to be instability around flight schedules and create disruptions at the airport, they would certainly inform us, and we can then put contingencies or measures in place to mitigate any potential of a major disruption. But to date, there hasn't been anything yet. So we are going as per the assurance that contingencies have been put in place.
Deborah Francis, thanks very much for your time this morning.
News that moves. eNCA.com.